So, sometime last year, there was an animated show on Netflix called Hilda. It's been the darling in the eyes of anyone with a passion for animation as of late, so I thought I'd give it a look, and gotta say I wasn't disappointed. If I could summarize the show in a few short phrases, I'd say it's like a nice, warm, hot cup of cocoa after a cool, breezy autumn day. Heck, the entire show seems to invoke the autumn season perfectly. And admittedly, autumn isn't one of my favorite seasons, but along with the autumn-like aesthetic, the show has charm and lore in spades. So, here's basically the rundown. In this show, humanity seems to have developed alongside several mythological cryptid-like creatures. So imagine a world like Lord of the Rings, but where humanity kept advancing until they had things like TVs and cars. Unlike other fantasy genres where humanity is ignorant of the fantastical elements, it does seem like humans and these magical creatures do interact. Our main character is Hilda, and you know the type. She's adventurous, clever, curious, and has a heart of gold. She's the type to bring home all sorts of wacky animals and want to keep them as pets. And maybe I'm just old school, but she kind of reminds me of Eliza Thornberry, or the Generation Z crowd. She's kind of like Mabel from Gravity Falls. Speaking of which, I know there are going to be some comparisons to this show and Gravity Falls, but there are some key differences which I'll get into later. While the show is not without its thrills and chills, the story is mostly about how we can retain a sense of wonder in the world, even as we grow up. Hilda's open mind and ingenuity is often the key and catalyst to many of the scenarios in the show. However, the show also shows how more normal and mundane tactics can also solve problems, like, let's say, how paperwork can make a peace treaty. Overall, I think that this show is a balance between a slice of life and a dash of a sense of wonder and awe. Now, the show does look and feel like Gravity Falls at certain points, but I do think there are critical differences. I think that Gravity Falls is more extreme with its fantastical elements, and so the solutions are also extreme, like, for example, battling an eldritch horror abomination with a giant mech. Whereas in Hilda, the solution to the fantastical is usually more simple, like solving a riddle or talking down a giant. I also want to point out how in Gravity Falls the public in the series is unaware of the weird world, quote unquote, where in Hilda the weird world is just another facet of life for them, no different than seeing a dog or a squirrel in our world. So, all in all, if you're looking for a calm slice of life series with an interesting world and a likable young protagonist, I think you'd enjoy Hilda. And I'd recommend giving it a shot. So, till next time, Stargazers, stay curious.